Oh, I'm an idiot. I never did the other. Oh, dude, I'm so fucking stupid. I didn't do the other fucking assassin. Okay, cool. Or the other investigation. Coach on to the future saw Brandon getting arrested, obviously. Maybe he saw Brandon in Karamoan. I was like, oh, I can't take this guy to the end. Like, how dare he get into a fight with Philip? Remember when we thought Philip was going to be on Survivor 50? Get Philip on Traders. That'll be funny, right? The next three will finally be properly voted out of 50. I hope not. I kind of hope she keeps that tradition. If she doesn't win, I hope she wins in like a really or I hope she loses in a really fun way.
I need this dealt with now.
Where if anything, I think if she doesn't, I think that'll actually be my like least favorite thing about 50 is that ruin like Sree's tradition of like going out in like very strange ways.
Never mind the citizens.
Coach didn't light up Ozzy on his third time out. He probably would have gotten his vote. Probably, yeah. I don't think it would have been enough either way, but yeah.
And the rains will come soon.
I won't warn you again, boy. Do as you're told, or you'll find yourself in irons.
Yeah, I believe Ozzy like blames, or no, the other way around. Coach blames Ozzy for why he lost, right? He said he turned to Savaiz against me. It's like, they're kind of get you. Again. Now let's do the assassination. Dude, that'd be so funny. They bring back Do or Die or Hourglass. And she gets taken out because of that. I got Sophie Brandon's vote. I think Coach betraying him. I don't think Brandon was ever voting for Coach or Albert.
Altair, how fares your search for Garnier?
I know when and how to strike.
Share your knowledge with me.
I think Sri makes it far in 50 because she sucks at comps.
Hospital,
no, I think people just want to work with Sri coming in this
season.
season.
Of atrocities committed within its walls. It seems the good doctor enjoys experimenting.
I think Sri's coming in. Like I always assume this to be the case, but I think it's even more so based on like other stuff we've heard now. That I think Sri's coming in this season with a lot of goodwill. I think a lot of people just actively want to work with her. And again, I think people know how big of a threat she is, and I think because of that, there's still going to be a struggle for getting all the way to the end. But I do think a lot of people want to work with Sri on the offset. Was Albert the biggest goat in South Pacific? I believe so. I mean, like Cochrane. Like Cochrane's the biggest goat. Like, yeah, I'll probably do that video at some point. Probably in this next batch of videos of biggest goat for every season. What should the break-off point be though? Because like obviously Cochrane's like what 8th place. But like by the time Cochrane goes, I think Albert's probably the biggest goat at that point. And Albert's definitely like, and like I think even at that point you can maybe debate Edna. Or like I don't know who wins like an Albert Edna Cochrane final 3. But by the time Edna goes for sure, like yeah, Albert's definitely the biggest goat.
You have no business here. Leave.
I mean, what? Okay, I could have sworn I would make that. Yeah, I don't know who wins that. I think my gut says Albert, but I don't know. I think it's between Albert and like I don't think Cochrane gets any votes. Like I think the like I think the like coach and Sophie vote Albert. Then like Rick, like Brandon probably votes. Actually, maybe Cochran. Maybe Brandon votes Cochran. Rick, I think, probably votes Albert, I guess, but I really don't know. But I know he was like big into like he wants to vote for a game by the end. So yeah, I think he does probably vote Albert. And then yeah, it's just like where does Savaiz go? Where I don't think they respected really any of them. But like I could see like Jim begrudgingly voting for Albert by the end in that scenario. So I think I would lean Albert, but I'm not like 100%. I agree with Sophie when she says Albert didn't bring a single intelligent plan. I can't think of one. Like, well, is there a point where like Albert like did something good on his own? Oh no, I have to go from the outside, don't I?
Push him again. You've no reason to stand here. Leave.
God damn it.
Your presence annoys
How do you get in? You have to do it that way? Is Albert the third best player in South Pacific? I think so. Yeah, I think I would land him there. Or like he was a big goat, but I do think he's still he was still part of that core 3 the entire time. Even then got Brandon to give him immunity. So I don't know. I think I lean towards that being enough for be number 3.
You need something?
Help me!
Cool.
Help me! Please!
Is that about Power Goat? Not specifically. Like, because I don't think people were like actively like recognizing that Albert's a goat, and then like he got to make decisions because of that. Like, I think because like he was like the initial target when Brandon goes out.
enough, my child.
Then after it's like he's not really in that much of a swing position. Really coaches the Power Goat.
There. Everything will be all
We go between Kim Johnson and Frank. Probably Frank.
Don't
Yeah.
touch me! Not again!
cast out this fear.
Different. I mean, like Frank. Let's see. If it's Kim Johnson versus Frank, like who wins that? So you got Ethan and Lex vote
Their souls!
Kim.
I saw,
Big Tom, I think, votes Frank.
but not
No.
You'll not have mine!
Then T-Bird votes Frank.
Take hold of yourself.
Kim Powers
This gives me pleasure.
probably votes Kim, right?
I want to hurt you, but
Um,
you give me no choice.
Then Brandon votes Kim, so I think that already gives Kim the win. So
All lies and deception!
yeah, I think Kim does win. So yeah, I would say Frank is probably
Until all bow before
Brandon,
me.
Frank.
Not have done that. Return him to
I think I don't think we have enough information.
You can't keep me here!
Like Lex obviously would have been pro Brandon.
No.
T-Bird probably votes
Break
Frank.
his legs. Both of them.
Kim Powers probably votes Brandon. Kelly probably votes Brandon. I would lean Brandon.
Have you people nothing?
I obviously Savannah winning 49 makes sense. Yeah, I already said this. I'm not gonna make an actual winner pick for my 49 cast assessment just because I feel like my winner pick is Savannah. Like even without like the knowledge that she wins, I think someone like Savannah would be my winner pick anyway. Like she's like like early 30s, like seemingly like savvy, strategic like sort of person. It's like I feel like she does seem pretty prime to be someone that I would pick anyway.
No, you want to hurt me. It's all you've done since you brought me here.
Oh, dude, I was so close. Okay, that's annoying. I almost never get that too. Cool. For Kenzie, who was the last one pick I got right? I believe Nick Wilson. I got Nick and Wendell in a row, and I also got Michelle and Jeremy in a row. I believe those are the only Survivor US winners I've gotten, right? There we go.
Let go, your bird.
This guy has sex with his cousin. I mean, technically, again, we don't know if he does. He just wants to. And who knows if his cousin let him have sex with her?
I must know what will become of
They let Brian getting Ben, right? Yeah.
The people made to suffer your cruel
Who did I pick?
experiments.
HHH.
Be free
I'll pick Jessica Johnson. That's her.
bones. What bones? The sewers?
That's the last thing you got right. Is Kenzie worse than Gabler or Marianne?
these people against
Worse than
their will.
Gabler, I think she might still be above Marianne.
Little will there was for them to have.
I think they're like essentially right next to each other now.
Do you appease a kind child simply because he wins?
Yeah, I think I would like. I think Marianne has a bigger like gameplay moment. Like I think her taking out Omer is like a better thing than anything Kenzie does. But I think Kenzie's game's probably more stable.
But men and women full grown.
In body, perhaps.
Or like Marianne's in a spot where like if her tribe ever goes to tribal again in the post merge or in the pre merge, she probably goes home.
I admit we got the piece of Eden, which you stole.
But Kenzie, it's like I think her weak point is like that final 7 round. I think outside that she's like not really in danger for a lot of that like portion of the game. She's not in like a pretty great spot, but she's again, not being targeted at least.
From the prisons of their own minds.
Yeah, that's also the thing. If there was
My death.
no forced fire, I think Marianne's in a lot more danger than Kenzie is.
What I believe.
Is also a thing.
What I know.
Rachel had a better winning game than Kenzie. Yeah, I still think the fact that like Rachel really had to win out at the end there really sinks Rachel on my list for me. That also different like Rachel's game outside that isn't even that like it's like she's blindsided when Annika goes home. Then in the post merge, she's like kind of on the bottom of things, not told when Sierra goes home. Then it's like wants to take out Genevieve, doesn't get her way. No. I think Rachel's game. It's like I think it's like I find it hard to find like a true like strong point of Rachel's game. Where like at least Kenzie didn't need like immunity wins or idols throughout the game. Yeah, I talk about spoilers. Cool. I assume, like, I'm willing to talk about it again. But it's just a matter of do you want me to or not. I think that's the weird thing about this, like, 50 stuff at this point, is that it's just, like, I don't know who like actively wants to know things and who doesn't. Even though I do have it literally in the stream title at this point, so it's like it really is kind of on you if you get spoiled, but like still. Like I don't want people to like be just joining and then like I say, oh, this person whatever, and then accidentally spoil people. Saw sex post. Oh yeah. So about the medevac and everything, like I don't know if it's real. Like I know the medevac is real. I mean, like I don't know if the Kyle being the one medevac is real. I feel like there is like a lot of things pointing towards it, but it also feels like none of it is super reliable. It's where like I'm not like 100% like sold on like Kyle is the medevac, but it does seem like things are pointing in that direction.
Speak it then, or would you have me read your mind?
Which again, I said earlier, if that is the case, I actually think that's like probably the best case scenario for Kyle. Like where I feel like this is not a season well poised for him, and I think he's actually probably better off
But Garnier seems
getting
to believe he was helping these people.
medevacs. Again, not for him personally, obviously. Like, but like at least in terms of like his legacy,
Then why are we having this
I feel like it's
I don't know. Forget I spoke of it.
it doesn't like demerit his legacy at least. Yeah, I thought. I mean, we literally started talking about sports like. When did I start doing it? I think it was at like 12:45 or so. So it's literally been like almost an hour. Good for Camilla if she's there. If Camilla's there, I think it's good for her. Let's see if the game crashes. It didn't. It's so funny the game crashed twice at the beginning of the game, and since then it's not crashed.
Damn it! What's the problem
Okay,
now?
so this is where I ended stream last time. I played this game on stream, which that stream was 3 hours 45 minutes long, or 3 hours 45 minutes. So I've somehow taken 35 more minutes to get to this point than I did last time. So that's great.
It's gonna be a while, Desmond. Why don't you go lie down?
Stepping that. Oh yeah, I don't believe that pregame alliance personally. I mean, Genevieve's husband has said that's not real. Well, also, like, I do not believe that fucking Rob Cesternino is in that group. It was like talking about the group started off with like Rob, Jerry, and Sean Rector in it, and then they got cuts, and like, but it's like, I do not believe for a second that Rob Cesternino was in a like alliance that big. I feel like that sounds even more ridiculous. I don't believe that spoiler in particular.
Someone's been in here.
Yeah, Genevieve's husband's on Twitter, like talking about how, like, yes, like everything Survivors Unite said about Genevieve is wrong. Are you waiting for Belacho? So yeah, I end up not just because I'm far behind in the game. It's where, like, again, I guess next stream I'll play Belacho.
You're in a good mood this morning.
But yeah, spoiler is that there is a medevac on the season. You know there's a medevac that happens early on in the season.
And help you with your treasure hunt.
The question is just who is the medevac, and there are reports that it's Kyle.
The work that Abstergo does.
Maybe because I don't actually know what you people do.
We changed.
Where like it started off like a while back, where like someone claimed that a friend of theirs saw a. Again, this is what it's so flimsy about. A friend of theirs saw a new era male that was supposed to be on Survivor 50 in the hospital in New York City.
We certainly don't take the credit.
Which that along with the fact that like Kyle's social media has been very active, not just in the fact that obviously he's been making these scheduled posts, but also I believe he's like
We're in control.
he's like followed someone recently or something, right? Which obviously still like still his wife, like controlling his account and that sort of thing. But there's been like a little bit more like social media activity from his account than just the scheduled post, or that's making people talk about him as well. Now there's like things pointing at Kyle, but it's still like pretty flimsy. It's not like enough. I mean, there's other talk about like Colby. There's other talk about like there was initial talk about Emily Flippin, though that's fully not true. But yeah, even the Colby one just seemed also like based on speculation. Like I don't think there is like actual like full on proof to like 100% knowing who the medevac is, but I do feel like Kyle was the one that there's at least the most amount of proof for. But even then, it's still not like that definitive. I mean, said early. In my opinion, I think that implies like first couple episodes. Like my first interpretation of that is I feel like that feels like kind of like a round two sort of medevac. Charlie's from Boston. Which again, if it is okay, if it's true that's New York City, it has to be Kyle. By the way, I believe that is the only New Era male from New York City. Because the other options are was Jonathan, who's from Florida, right? Then
Would
you
you
have
have me
Q, who's from Minnesota, right? Charlie's from Boston. And then Joe is from California. And I don't know where. To be fair, I don't know about Rizzo. I could not tell you.
You must concern yourself with the more
He's from Alabama. Anyway,
men who pretend
from somewhere south. I remember.
Give me names and I'll give you blood.
So I
The
will
medevac is from Redmond. We know that an early medevac is from Redmond. The Kyle thing is not from reliable source. But Survivors Unite has commented on it initially, talking about it as if it's real. However, said today that he's not fully buying into it at this point.
walk amongst the people of their cities. You learn the
Kyle might be from Pennsylvania, but he lives in New York City now.
that these men are obstacles to the peace we seek.
Then they will die.
Like Kyle was like close to so that's also part of the story is that like Kyle, well not part of this story, but like terrible Kyle. Like Kyle lied to everybody that he wasn't going to be on 50, and that's why like all the New York survivors were like so confident that like the Survivors Unite list was fake because Kyle was on it, and it was like, well, Kyle told us he wasn't on. Obviously, it turns out he is.
They'll be more suspicious than
And also supposedly Kyle was lying about Camilla, also saying that Camilla wasn't on, which is like. Yeah, if that is true, like, why are you doing that? Why are you just, like, sinking Camilla for, like, no reason? The cast leaked for 49, like, a while ago. Yeah, I was literally, like, well, I mean, it was the day of the trailer, right? The entire cast got leaked.
Altair, it seems my students do not fully understand what it is to wield
He's from
the blade.
Tennessee. Isn't he from, like, isn't he, like, maybe he's originally, actually, he's originally from, but, like, I mean, what I'm talking about from, when I say from, is, like, where they live now. Like, as in, like, where they would be in the hospital in if they were flown home.
You must be busy. I understand.
I mean, I believe Rick Devens, one, isn't a news anchor anymore, and also I don't believe, like, I believe he's moved to, like, Las Vegas or
You
something,
must be
hasn't he?
busy. I understand.
But maybe at a point worked with Rick Devens? I mean, imagine it's like Rizzo, and he was like so like malnutritioned from playing back to back, and that's why he got medevaced. Christian lives in Florida. He works for University of Florida, doesn't he? And even then, he wouldn't be the new era male anyway. Rooting for Savannah, 'cause she's a St. Louis girl, is she? I had family that used to live in St. Louis. I don't even know. Like, when was the last? I don't think I've had a Survivor player live in the city that I live in forever at this point. Even Big Brother, I know of a couple. Well, I know of one Big Brother player, and I know of a couple Survivor players, but like. But even that, it's never like I've never once ever thought like, oh my god, this person lives in my city, I need to root for them. It's like that's like never really come across my mind personally.
Jar carriers can easily break your cover if you cause them to drop.
I guess I have like no I don't know, no city pride or anything. Random that Jonathan grew up in your hometown. Yeah, that's kind of random if you are from a small town. Like, I think that would be bizarre. If someone, like, grew up in the town that like, the original town that I was from, in fucking Michigan, I think that would be really fucking weird. Or like I don't even remember the fucking population of it, but I'm pretty sure it's like what, like 1,000 maybe, if that. Actually, I'm gonna look this up real quick. How many people? Not even a population 868. So yeah. Yeah, that would be fucking weird. Why am I doing this? Why am I trying to enter this way? This is so fucking stupid. Oh fuck, I got detected anyway. Okay, I think it'll be tough to beat from a place that small. Cool. Dude, I can't I can't imagine actually living there. Like where you have to drive like an hour just to go to a grocery store and everything. That sounds fucking depressing. For the Bernie Sanders. What the fuck does that even mean? Missouri needs a Survivor winner rep. Yeah, I haven't followed like what states have not had a winner. I'm assuming a lot, obviously, considering there's only been 48 seasons, and then even then, like definitely there's been a lot of states that have multiple winners. I feel like. Is Q still doomed on 50? I still don't feel good about Q. I would say he's kind of fucked, but never know. I hope it goes well. Yeah, it'll be fun if it does. Tina does. I forgot, what was Tina talking about recently? Like I did listen to her the 50 Files podcast. I remember she was like talking about like how she lives, but I generally don't even remember anymore about like what the story was. And do we count Pensacola, Rob? But I assume there would have been more Florida winners because I believe Florida is like one of the most represented states, right? Sandra's from North Carolina, isn't she? Waiting for Georgian A versus the World to idle out Luke Toki. I would love to see it. That would make my day. Why did I go here? No, fuck. Why did I do this? God damn it. Okay, cool.
His name is Abuna.
This is pointless.
What can you tell me about him?
Oh, the merchant king of Damas, richest man in the city. Quite exciting.
It's in the mountains. Oh yeah, that's what. Yeah. Drives. Yeah, that sounds miserable. I only go to a grocery store like once every 2 weeks, but like still. Not because it's fucking 2 hours away though.
Aside from those things, I envy you very much.
I do not care what the others think or say.
It's actually like.
I'm here to do
like
a job.
literally like
So
what? It's like
again,
3 minutes.
What can you tell me about the Merchant King?
Only that he must
Probably more than that, realistic. Like 5 minutes.
Sent you to see him. He keeps to his own kind, wrapped in the finery of this city's noble.
Probably the actual drive itself is probably 3 minutes.
I'm sure if you spend some time
Matter.
amongst his
Do
titans,
you think Anakin will never return to reality TV again? Likely not. I mean, I don't know. Likely not Survivor, I'll say. Who knows if like who knows if she shows up on Queens of the Jungle or the fuck that show is, or like some other random show. But yeah.
It's a popular meeting spot and has proved a reliable source of loose.
Let's say it's the most represented winners, New Jersey. I assumed it would be California, but New Jersey obviously has at least 3.
I'll return when I've gathered the necessary information.
She Perron's living in Washington. Oh, I didn't even know that. But I believe she currently lives in North Carolina. And like has for a while. And, like I know she was at the North Carolina Survivor screening. On Traders of JLP, imagine. Would JLP know who Amanda Kimmel is? Like, almost definitely not, right? I forgot which district I'm doing this in. I think it's Rich, right? Because this is the yeah, the guy at the palace and everything. So I'll probably get this viewpoint and then probably end. California's 8? That's insane. I can literally see a viewpoint from here. I assumed it was a lot, but that seems, yeah, like a ridiculous amount. Yeah, Robin's, like, we're talking about Rob Cesternino, right? Yeah. Or are you talking about Rob Mariano? I don't believe so. Rob Cesternino and Sandra live very close to each other. Like, they both live in the same state, at least. I believe she actually lives, like, a couple hours away, from what I remember. Or I believe Rob Cesternino lives in Raleigh, right? I don't remember exactly where Sandra lives. Yeah, Boss Rob? No, I don't believe they live close to each other. Like, yeah, Rob, from what I understand, Rob still lives in Pensacola, right? Last I've heard, at least. And, yeah, Sandra lives somewhere in North Carolina. Vesepia, Brian, Aris, Yule, Earl, Parvati, Fabio, Adam all live in California.